So let's dive right in. Steve, Chris, over to you. And what's new with Google?
Wow. Okay. Am I going first, Chris?
Yeah, mate. You go first.
Nice. This is so confusing. I've got so many tabs. Let's go. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to share this tab instead. Okay, so I'm going to go real quick because I'm up first, and I know that if we go long, then everyone will go, damn, Steve, you talked way too long. And what I'll do is have a quick play with smart chips. Now, we've talked a little bit, Chris and I talked a little bit before about smart chips or smart chips for those of you in Australia. I'm sorry about that. A bit of translation there. And Docs had this massive rebuild a while ago, and everyone went, what does that mean? And Chris and I both went, what does that mean? What it means is that you can do some really cool stuff in Docs. So as you can see there, we got the at the beginning to insert some stuff. So if I type an at, what it's going to do is drop down. And look at that, I can even tag. Like Chris actually comes up first because we must talk lots. So if I want to tag Chris in something, it's going to tag him in there as his name. Now you notice that his name has actually changed to that little grey outline. So it becomes a smart cheap or chup. And I can click on that and I can have a look at his info. I can send him an email. I can start a chat. I can start a video call. I can have a look at his calendar or book some time in there. So I can find out some stuff about my buddy Chris. Now you notice over on the right-hand side as well, it also has popped up one of those really nice little comment boxes. I can now immediately give him access if I want. So I can click on share. Now all of a sudden, and it's going to send it to him, and we have shared this document and start working together. So a really nice little feature there with smart chips. So I'll just go and do another at. Now you'll also notice that there are a whole lot of other things down here. So meeting notes inside a calendar invitation, you'll automatically create meeting notes, which I share with everybody on the calendar invitation. You can do roadmaps, you can do reviews, but there are also these cool things. So you can drop in a checklist. So if I do that, I can go like this with a checklist, and I can start to add things. And you'll notice also that beside that, I can click here and assign it as a task. So it'll drop into my tasks as well. So we start to have a lot of stuff that's going on inside Docs. But my favoriteest one is, as we scroll down, no, not my favoriteest one, my second favoriteest one, we can do a watermark, and we can also do tables of contents, and we can do equations. Now I'm going to keep scrolling because we're going again. Let's do that. If I go right down, there's also a drop-down menu. So you can create a drop-down menu inside a doc. You can also do your tasks, you can do your links. You can also do special characters. So real nice little shortcut here for a special character. If I want to do an A like that, then I can suddenly click in an A with a little line across the top if I want to use Māori correctly. So that's a really quick way to put that in as well. The last little one we're going to do.
What's that called? Is that called a macron?
It's a macron. That's the word. It fell in my brain. I was trying to think.
Why did they name the Maori language thing after the French president?
I don't know. I think it was the other way around. I think the Māori language came first, Chris.
All right. Okay.
Awkward. Now, the really, really cool one that I love showing here is if I want to put a YouTube clip in here, and I go and find a really good YouTube clip here, which is called BSOA Interview with Chris Betcher. I'll just go into there. I've not seen that. This one. It's a really old interview with you.
Oh, my goodness. I don't do that.
I'm not going to play it. So if I copy the URL, I'll go back to my doc over here. I've done my at. I'm going to paste the YouTube URL in there. And then it says, do you want to replace it with Chris's interview? Yes, I do. So I click that. And what it's going to do is it's now going to see it's got a little interview in there. If I hover over it, it pops out. And I can then go open preview, and we can all watch Chris's interview. Now, the really cool thing about this is...
And my voice.
We won't watch it. I'll leave it in there. The really cool thing is, if you notice, no ads at the beginning, no suggestive videos at the end. So kids can jump in, watch the preview, answer your questions, or do whatever you want. So you can start to make a really amazing smart worksheet, want a better term, or a hyperdoc, or whatever you want with Docs. And I reckon that's probably 5 minutes. I'll stop talking now. So there you go. That's Docs.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. I used to always wonder why we couldn't embed a YouTube video in a Google Doc. It just seemed to me like, what? We can do it in slides. We can do it in other places. Why can't we do it in a doc? Because it's like a digital document. And when you think about it, that's actually a much better system because it means the video can be playing in that player, but you can still scroll the page up and down. So kids can be looking at, I don't know, the digital worksheet, whatever you want to make in the background while they're watching a video. It's actually a much better, nice way to do it. Hi, everyone. I want to talk to you about a thing that we released yesterday. We announced it yesterday at the Anywhere School event. You may have it if you're on the beta channel and you use a Chromebook. It's called Screencast for Chromebooks. Let me share my screen and I will show you what I mean. So now, I will preface this by two things. This is a Chromebook-only feature. For those of you that are in schools where kids use Chromebooks, that's pretty awesome because it means every kid automatically has access to this as soon as we roll over to version 103 of Chrome. Right now, most people are on version 102, and the new version should be released in probably the next week or two. But if you want to get early, if you can push yourself over to the beta channel, you can have access to it. What it is a brand new app that runs in here. You can see it's called Screencast. Let's get rid of that thing.
Sounds different than the old screen recorder, isn't it, Chris?
Right, yeah. So you remember you can do screen recording on a Chromebook by going, well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. The way a lot of people do it is click down here and there's a button that actually says screen capture, right? So if you hit screen capture, it'll bring up that overlay there and you can set your settings down the bottom there for what you want to capture, whether it's a like partial screen or a whole screen or whatever. And you can still do that. That still works. And if you just want a simple screencast, that's fine. You'll notice that you've now got the little video thing down in the bottom corner, which you never used to have in Screencast. That's fairly new. And you can turn that on or off under the settings thing here by choosing your microphone or your camera. And it's all there. And you can even choose the other camera if you like. That's much nicer. And it puts it in that nice circle for you. But that's not what I'm going to do. I want to show you the new tool called Screencast, which is kind of built on that, but does something very special. If I go into the settings here and choose this thing called Screencast, it actually opens up this app. Keep closing that thing, right? And then it looks a little bit like this. Okay, now when you first open it, it has a couple of little sort of welcome videos there that steps you through how to use it. I'm not going to play them for you. Let me show you what it does. I hit the new Screencast button, and it goes into that screen recording mode that I just showed you. So it looks familiar. It puts my little video down in the bottom corner. And I'm just going to do something really simple, right? I'm just going to show you how you use the settings menu on a Chromebook to find, I don't know, accessibility settings. When I start this, I want you to notice that as soon as I go down here to do something, what I think will happen is it will just automatically move me out of the way because I'm in the way right now, that little video thing. So let's try it. Let's click anywhere. 3, 2, 1. Hi, my name is Chris. I'm recording a video for you right now. What I want to show you is if I click down here, you'll see, first of all, my video moved out of the way automatically. I can go to the accessibility menu, click there, and this is where I find all my accessibility settings. I'm just going to stop recording there. That's enough for now, right? And you'll see what it's doing in the background. Watch this. So any second now, what it's doing right now is it's uploading that video and everything to Drive. You can see there it goes in the background there. It's just pushed the video up into Drive. Now what it'll do is it'll say processing. Any second now, it'll say processing. Now we just talk amongst ourselves for a second while it does its thing. What it just recorded was the video track, a sort of a metadata file of stuff. And let me just show you what's actually happening in the background. If I can open the right tab here and show, let's just close this for a second. Where am I going? I've got too many things open. I'll do it in this one. If I go into my Google Drive, just while that's processing in the background, I want to show you what actually happened. So let me head over here into Drive. And somewhere in here in my Drive, I have a new folder that just got automatically created called Screencast Recordings, right? And if I go into there, you'll see it's created a folder for me just a few minutes ago. There you go. There it is in there. And in that folder is 3 files. The actual recorder, the projector file, which is the file that holds it all together, and the little thumbnail that you see in projector. You don't need to worry about any of that. Just be aware that it's happening in the background and you don't have to think about it, okay? But I just want to point out that it is there. Now, let's go back here and you'll see that that screencast is now finished. Here's the magical bit. When I go to open that screencast, the transcript of what I said will open on the right-hand side. So what I said there, now, because this was such a short video, it's probably not a great example. If you do a longer video, it will actually break it up into paragraphs for you. And I've done a little bit of testing on this. If you stop and pause just for a second, it will treat that as a paragraph break, right? So as you're doing your videos, just sort of break the wording up into chunks. I tend to just speak a lot, so it's put it all in as one thing, right? But when I play that, you'll notice, hi, my name is Chris. I'm recording a video for you. I don't know if you're getting the audio on that or not, but it's actually playing the audio for me and it's highlighting this section. When you have multiple sections or multiple paragraphs, it will just go one by one with the paragraphs. And here's the cool thing. If there's something in here that you don't want and you want to edit it out of the video, the way you edit it out of the video is simply go to the 3 dots and say, skip that section. And watch what happens when I skip this section, which happens to be most of the video. It will actually just remove that whole blue section down the bottom there. That's now removed from this video, which doesn't leave him with a lot of video, right? And if you want to put it back, you just undo that and it puts it right back. Super simple way to just edit video just by editing the text. And by the way, if it said, I don't really need this bit at the beginning, let's skip that. I don't really need that bit at the end, let's skip that. And if it didn't get my wording right, because, you know, speech to text is pretty good, but it's not perfect, I can always click on the 3 dots and say edit the text, and I can go and fix any mistakes that it's made. Actually, Steve, you know what? I wonder if I split a paragraph. No, it doesn't do it. I thought it might split it into sections.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, so you can fix the text, and that's how it gets. And then if you want to share it, you hit the share button there, give it a rename, I'll call it task, and say continue, and it will generate this as a either keep it private or share with others, and then it does a kind of anyone with a link can access kind of deal, and it gives you the link there for it. Copy the link, give the link to someone, they can watch it. Here's the small caveat on this. This is a Chromebook only app, which means you need a Chromebook to make one, but you also need a Chromebook to watch one. So if you're in a school where your kids have Chromebooks and the teachers have Chromebooks, and we're going to hear from Andrew Corney about that in just a sec, this is just an amazing piece of kit. If you're in a school where the kids have Chromebooks and the teachers are on Windows or Mac or something, I don't know, then you got maybe a little something you got to solve there, because teachers might not be able to see it if they don't have a Chromebook. But I think it's a pretty amazing thing, and it's free on every Chromebook. So yeah, there you go. That's me done.
There's also the little pen tool as well, so you can annotate while you're drawing.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. Yeah, the pen tool. You can see it in the screen capture down here. There's a little pen tool there, and you can actually draw on the screen and highlight things as you're making the videos. So if you need to sort of, you know, circle something or make a note, you can do that while you're recording, and it just records it straight into the screen. Speaking of, not every Chromebook has a touch screen or a stylus input. I bought this yesterday, actually. It's a little Wacom tablet. Comes with a pen, and it's called the Wacom One. And there's 2 versions of it, the small one and a big one. This big one cost me about, I don't know, 100 and something bucks on Amazon. And it's part of the approved for use with Chromebook program. So it's what they call it, Steve? Works with Chromebook.
Yeah.
So it's a approved works with Chromebook accessory. So it works great. Anyway, okay, now I'm done. Back to you guys.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Very good. Has anyone got any questions they want to ask about that while you've got Chris and Steve on the call? We want to make this as interactive. I think, Donna, you just raised a hand.
Yeah, very polite.
Turn your microphone
I
on
did.
and ask a question. Go for it.
If the kids ink on the screen,
Yep.
and they share the recording from in their drive,
Mm-hmm.
can anyone who they share the recording from within their drive see their inking, or do you have to be on a Chromebook to see the inking?
No, it should. Well, I haven't tried it, but it should just become part of the video.
Yeah, it does. It puts it all together for you.
So you could, the kids, if the teacher's on a Windows or a MacBook or something, the kids could share the recording from in their drive. They could share that version.
I was just going to say that, actually. Yeah, so any inking you do becomes embedded in the video file that gets recorded. And even though I just said that sort of small problem there, that if the teachers don't have a Chromebook, they can't see it with the transcript and everything, but the kid could just share the WebM file, the actual video recording, which is one of those 3 files that I showed you in the folder. Yeah, just share that file and you get the actual video recording. You just don't get the transcript on the side.
Cool, thank you.
No worries.
Awesome. And Dan's just asked, is it possible to just record the video and not the screen? Do you guys know about that?
As in just your face?
It sounds like it. Yeah.
I spend most of my life on a Chromebook these days, but if you go to the camera app inside a Chromebook, you can just record your face just from there.
If you want to do like a screencast of your face, I guess, yeah.
Well, it's not even screen, it's literally just capturing your camera.
Yeah, true. Yeah.